how do we define a surrogate ad? Internationally, what's the practice? Like, how does it work?
You don't show the product, but you advertise. If I have to put it in a very simple way, you don't show Carlsberg beer bottle or tobacco packet, but you try to show the brand name in different ways, and then try to hit the consumer's mind. There's something called Carlsberg, or there's something called any tobacco brand.
Born into the night, clears my face of walls, makes my beauty show. The ocean smooth and clean, best I've ever seen. Soft and silky sheen, like a perfect dream. True skin makes me shine, feeling so divine. Beauty I can find in the skin of mine.
Laxmi Group is very close to us. It's my favorite brand. Laxmi Group ko brand ho. Orange ball bhanai. Orange ball bhanai.
Yeah.
Kata na kata dai hunu थियो सुजल फुड भन्ने बित्तिकै चोकोफन अनि orange ball.
Orange ball.
त्यतिखेर थियो होला नि यो दुईटै ब्रान्ड.
थियो.
We grew up with orange ball, no?
Yeah, orange ball.
Orange ball,
brown ball, that rim jim ball it's called.
Black one.
Black ball. हामी त black ball भन्थे.
के
rim jim?
Rim jim ball भन्छ.
हजुर हुनुहुन्थ्यो नि त्यो टाइममा.
थियो. Yeah. Orange ball and that black ball was probably there long time before I joined. And Chocofon was recently launched when I joined.
Chocofon 5 रुपैयाँको दुईटा खाए जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई एक पोइन्टमा.
I don't even remember Sanjay.
5 रुपैयाँ थियो कि 5 रुपैयाँको दुईटा थियो.
5 रुपैयाँको एउटै थियो.
5 रुपैयाँको एउटै थियो है.
साइज चाहिँ अहिलेको भन्दा डबल ट्रिपल बडी ग्रामेज थियो.
ठुलो डब्बामा पाउँथ्यो हैन अनि चाहिँ हामीले त्यो हात हाल्न गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो कि त्यो कम भए बेलामा हो त्यो थियो हैन अनि त्यसपछि सुजल फुड पछि
म फेरि पढ्न गएँ. I went for my second masters Manila Asian Institute of Management. त्यो 1 सालको मास्टर्स गरे. That was 2004-05 I was in Manila. So then I came back and joined GBL again. So GBL मैले दुईचोटि join गरेँ, So 2005 to 7 I was in Gorkhalee again.
अलि tricky time थियो नि त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ for the country as well.
त्यो बेलामा my designation I was looking after the diversification business of Gorkhalee that time. Any business besides beer, that was the time Gorkhalee was trying to diversify into wine and then some other beverages, energy drink and all that. So I looked after the diversification business for 2 years.
And then what happened?
And then
FMCG.
I joined Dabur, and then it's been more than 17 years,
17 वर्ष भयो डाबरमा हैन. तर कतै न कतैबाट FMCG बिचमा ब्याङ्कको मात्र डिफरेन्ट भयो. अदरवाइज यु मोस्टली एट भनौँ न FMCG नै भन्न मिल्यो कि मिलेन. लिकर कतै न कतैबाट
more or less FMCG नै भन्छु म.
The surprising factor was Dai diversified the business and he left it for me to take over. So when I joined, Jolly and Wine was my brand.
Yeah.
Jolly
Sandy.
You मैले बिर्सेँ थाहा छ. Jolly Sandy के थियो?
It was 1% alcohol back, lemonade.
Somersby types?
Somewhat. Not a little different because Somersby is apple cider. That was lemonade with 1% alcohol at the time.
So Jolly याद छ मलाई तर मैले Sandy.
Exactly. Jolly lemonade was lemonade and then the Sandy is like you have
नेपाल गर्नुपर्छ है यो Jolly Sandy नेपाल गर है यो नभए नेपाल गरेन कुन चाहिँ थियो छ यहाँ कुतै
Yeah, the bottle. Yeah, the first bottle. The first thing. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, this is what I launched in 2006, I guess. 2006.
2008, Dai had left. I came just to take over this brand.
Jolly Sandy.
Yes, and the wine, Invinio.
Yeah, Invinio.
Invinio wine पनि थियो त्यतिखेर हैन. When you think about it, wow. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, since we're talking about alcohol, I मैले अघि न थोरै टच बेस गरेर थिएँ नि off the record हैन मैले यो. All right, त्यतिखेर एडभर्टाइजमेन्ट गर्न के पाइन्थ्यो त ल लेट्स स्टार्ट अफ विथ दैट. त्यतिखेर चाहिँ ओपनली एडभर्टाइज गर्न पाइन्थ्यो अल्कोहल कि त्यतिखेर पाइदैन थियो अल्कोहल ओपनली एडभर्टाइज गर्न?
यो आई टेल यु पहिला त 98 मा यो अल्कोहलमा इलेक्ट्रोनिक मिडिया ब्यान्ड भयो. आई वाज अ ब्रान्ड म्यानेजर इन गोर्खाली. इलेक्ट्रोनिक मिडिया इन द सेन्स हाम्रो रेडियो र टेलिभिजनमा चाहिँ 98 मा बन्द भयो. नत्र पाइन्थ्यो त्यति बेलासम्म सबै नै नर्मल एफएमसीजी प्रडक्ट जस्तै एडभर्टाइज गर्न पाइन्थ्यो. त्यसपछि चाहिँ बाँकी रह्यो प्रिन्ट र आउटडोरहरू बाँकी थियो. आई थिङ्क त्यो पनि पछि
चुरोट पनि पाइन्छ किनभने खुकुरीको एड त हामीले त त्यो
पाइन्थ्यो।
आइकनिक एड छ कि एउटा खुकुरीको होइन मलाई याद छ रञ्जित दाई आउँदाखेरि हामीले त्यो कुरा गरे जस्तो मलाई याद छ त्यो आइकनिकै थियो नि त्यो
साहसीको प्रतीक
साहसीको प्रतीक
that was a great
That used to be one lifestyle ad for us while we were growing up. Okay?
है
Aspirational.
शिखर थियो टेस्ट अफ सक्सेस हाम्रो अनुदान र महिमा चौधरी थियो
शिखर यो हो नि गरे भिन्टेज एडै भनेर गरेको छ त्यो त अनि जतिसुकै मैले चुरोट खानु हुँदैन भने पनि यो एड चाहिँ मलाई पर्सनली मन चाहिँ पर्छ खुकुरी यो त उसको
यो खुकुरीको हो यो
खुकुरी चुरोटको हो नि
चुरोटको
खुकुरी पनि छ नि यो एड त गजब कहाँ छन् होला यो दाजुको नि अहिले हन्डा बाइकमा आउँछ के अरे होइन मोस्ट प्रब्ली पहिलो फिल्टर चुरोट हो यो होइन होला
पहिलो फिल्टर त आई थिङ्क शिखरै होला
होइन तर यो एड त्यतिखेर कति पैसा खर्च गरेको नि तर गजबै छ यो एड हो अब सुरु हुन्छ नि यो एडको त्यो के भन्छ त्यो सम काइन्ड अफ म्यानलीनेस वाला एड हो कि यो चाहिँ हुन्छ नि होइन
I think he saved someone there at the end.
लेकाली भनेर होइन
And look at the background, no? It's probably Lumanthan or Mustang at those, you know, during those times, going there for the shooting.
त्यो टाइममा यस्तो एड होइन सो एनिवेज सो त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ टेलिभिजनमा पाइन्थ्यो
98 मा बन्द भयो
किन बन्द भयो
You
Do you know
that anti-smoking, all that lobbyist probably. That's probably the trend, In the West also, they've stopped. There were a lot of restrictions in the tobacco and alcohol advertisement and all. They follow गरे होला हामीले पनि.
मार्बलोको छ त होइन पहिला मार्बलोको त एकदमै होर्डिङ बोर्डदेखि लिएर सबै थोक विदेशमा पनि राख्थे के
As
अरे
far as I remember, when 2008 I got into this industry, when I walked in as a 19-year-old to give my interview and I was asked about Carlsberg, yes, I was studying outside the country. I came back, all of a sudden I was asked for an interview. I tried searching for Carlsberg all over electronic media and I could not find it. Then what I remembered was, while walking by the overhead bridge, the way probably the best beer la established gare thyo, that became my talking point for my interview.
कुन बियर चाहिँ यो
Carlsberg.
ए कार्लसबर्गले त्यसरी गरे
त्यति बेला launch भएको थियो कि probably the best भन्ने tagline. It was around 2007-ish, I would say, because whenever I came for holidays and I saw it so very visible, the green everywhere, I remembered it,
Agree.
So that was my talking point for interview when I was approached for a job.
सो त्यतिखेर होर्डिङ बोर्ड मात्र होर्डिङ बोर्ड
Print पनि पाउँथ्यो.
प्रिन्ट पनि पाउँथ्यो
That time we had there was a two tagline we were asked to choose across the globe, I guess. So one was probably the best beer in the world. The another one was come up to Carlsberg. I was there in Carlsberg, Nepal, the Gorkhalee. So we were trying to finalize which slogan should be the Carlsberg's.
Probably
slogan.
best sounds good ni
Probably the best is it has a lot of alterations to it, which adapts to every scenario, so gives a good base for surrogacy internationally as well. Because Nepal ma jati pani surrogacy start pa chaina ke. It has not matured in Nepal. But internationally, if you look at Carlsberg ads, probably the best meeting in the world, probably the best party in the world. They play around that, where they're just showing a glass and nothing else. The glass is the surrogate glass. But the tagline is strong.
Okay, so म अलिकति एल्कोहलमै I'll stick around है त त्यसको मतलब होइन एल्कोहल टोब्याको इन जनरल होइन सो त्यतिखेर त्यसरी भयो surrogate ads भनेर how do we define a surrogate ad के internationally what's the practice like how does it work
You don't show the product, but you advertise. If I have to put it in a very simple way, you don't show Carlsberg beer bottle or tobacco packet, but you try to show the brand name in different ways, and then try to hit the consumer's mind. There's something called Carlsberg, or there's something called any tobacco brand.
Any thoughts on this
I personally feel the brands who have been able to establish their tagline strongly can play with surrogacy much more stronger than any other brand. Just to give you example, even in those days, one of the ads which used to hit me was Royal Stag's Larger Than Life. Larger Than Life was their tagline. Make it large was the tagline. And they had the series of ads, if you remember, which used to hard hit, You could not deny those ads, and you could immediately connect to the fact that it's Royal Stag, but the surrogacy was Royal Stag music.
right
It's a tagline that plays.
Surrogacy won't work for a brand which is not established. I mean,
won't.
if it's a Royal Stag, when the Royal Stag comes, then probably people will relate it with the Royal Stag, the whiskey. I mean, if the brand is not established, then there's no question of surrogacy because people will not understand. If it's like Shikhar, in a seeker, you show any product, the seeker, matchbox, or the color, the font, everything, you will exactly relate it to the seeker cigarette or whatever. तर त्यो स्ट्याब्लिसै नभएको ब्रान्डमा त I mean there's no question of surrogacy because people will not relate it to that particular brand you try.
So एक हिसाबले भन्दाखेरि ब्रान्ड स्ट्याब्लिस भइसकेपछि चाहिँ सरोगेट गर्नु फाइदा भयो सुरुमै सरोगेट गरेर काम छैन
कसरी थाहा हुन्छ मान्छेलाई
Imagine when I said make it large, Royal Stag आफैमा established भइसकेको थियो. That's the reason people remembered make it large. Yes, the ad did not speak about Royal Stag right from the beginning, but last Royal Stag music बन रहा आयो. But since you knew make it large, you could relate from the first scene that it is Royal Stag. Okay? However, it had that angle to it which was touching with day-to-day life of people.
So कतै न कतैबाट इमोसन र ट्रस्ट पनि कतै न कतैबाट चाहियो. I'll come to that, but some ads that you cannot go ahead and play anywhere. कहीँ पनि बजाउन नमिल्ने एड चाहिँ भनौँ न पानी भनेर हुन सक्ला अथवा इभेन्ट भनेर हुन सक्ला अथवा भनौँ न कुनै किसिमको मिडियम भनेर हुन सक्ला त्यसैबाट चाहिँ दिपले नेपालमा कतिको हुन्छ यो
Very limited, I would say, because your points, what I personally feel, Ruslan was doing a great job with the surrogacy because Ruslan cards, which later Tuborg also adapted to. They had Ruslan colors, they were having Ruslan color bombs, just the surrogate angle to it. But off lately, I think everybody has taken a backseat. Established brands are already established. They don't need to struggle because you're going to ask for the established liquor brand and the cigarette brand only. Surya bhaneko Surya nahi ho, Carlsberg bhaneko Carlsberg nahi ho. To a certain extent, manchele त्यो भन्दा further सोच्दैन So surrogacy has kind of taken a backseat. जति creatively आउन सक्नु पर्ने थियो त्यो आएको छैन नेपालमा.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Surrogacy, मैले त not only surrogacy. Today, if you ask me, besides the surrogacy or even the mainstream brand which can actually come to the mainstream media and advertise, I have a feeling, I don't know, Punam will agree or add some value in this. My observation is like we are moving more towards the trade approach. Trade ma janu paryo, trade ma rakhaunu paryo, rather than trying to woo the consumer or delight the consumer and all that. In particular categories, in FMCG also.
Example din एउटा मलाई.
Focus, I'll give the example of juice today. So I was talking to the competition guys. We have a small informal, platform where we discuss about the industry problem. Nobody talks about improving the product quality. Nobody talks about adding value to the consumer. Everybody is talking about, I have to make it available. I have to sell it to the trade, so the trade will automatically sell it to the consumers. Then I asked them, what have we done in the last 10 years? The small juice we sell, the real mango, or there are 8-10 companies in the world, in the country. के गरौँ त हामीले भनेर अनि मलाई के भने तपाईँ मार्केट लिडर हो तपाईँ नै गर्नु पर्यो नि पहिला भने I can't run away from that responsibility. Trade-मा राख्नु पर्यो. So all the advertising, the whatever the weightage the advertising should have got, I think कता त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति subdued भएर अर्को साइडमा BTL we call it उतातिर पो फोकस भयो.
तपाईले हाम्रो क्लिप एकदमै एन्जोय गर्नुभयो होला. अब पुरै भिडियो हेर्नको लागि चाहिँ YouTube मा सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सिनु होला. व्यास मिडिया नेटवर्क.